Welcome to Invest. We talk about investing, finance, and professional development. At the current time of 9:33 a.m. on the Eastern Time on Saturday, December 10th. Hope you guys have a good week and also happy Saturday. Ethereum closed $1,271, up about 0.65% so far. On the over crypto market, I would say in the last, couple of days, I was collectively, we've been just kind of gliding on the same level, not really moving much. If you look at the daily chart, we have been consolidating just above at the 1250 mark. And the technical front clearly indicates that every single time we reach a certain level, and the level is quite clear, right? You could see that it's basically bouncing in between the non-substantive resistance level, which is 1300 versus 1250. So, and that's the reason why we're kind of in the middle doing this type of ping pong movements. And you can see that even more clearly on a daily chart. Every single time we kind of reach above the 50, 53 out of 70 on the RSI scale, relatively optimal, but leaning more of a upper side of the echelon, it kind of reject back down. So, and also with respect to the MACD, it doesn't really have an incentive to propel it up, further because of the elongation that we've been having and sustaining so far. So this is a relatively bearish trend, forming some sort of an upward wedge. If you really draw this triangle matching with the apex, you'll see that the pointy triangle ends at a pointy upward direction. So whenever you get there, you squeeze tighter and tighter and tighter and tighter, eventually you will, drop as a rock due to the market imbalance, which I think with respect to what will be the catalyst on driving the market imbalance would be obviously next week, right? We are approximately 3 days away from the CPI report and the FOMC meeting late next week, right? Before we dive into technical on the other coins, let's take a look at the news front, shall we? It seems like with respect to the news, more regurgitation news, but it seems like they are just trying to stir fire into more fire. And it seems like with respect to obviously the market ended on a relatively negative note, indicating, we will see some choppiness as we approach closer and closer to the CPI report. The PPI report came out, which is interesting. It typically comes out, the CPI will come out first and then the PPI. But with respect to the result on Friday, we did get one piece of the equation solved. And we understand that the PPI report came out a little bit hotter than expected. And the PPI report and the CPI report typically would have some direct correlation. But with respect to the timing of what happened with Black Friday during the Thanksgiving holiday, which most of the Christmas shopping is being done, including myself, maybe we might hear a different story from the consumer front compared to the wholesaler front. So we'll see how that goes. That's a world event until we get over that hump, and then ideally start to glide and even capture the Santa Claus rally post mortem of the 13 and 14. So we'll see how that goes on as we are going to be watching this collectively. And then news front on the crypto.com CEO seems like he has been having a history of red flags such as bankruptcy, quick exits. It's a very tactical business moves. I'm not sure why they are, kind of. I guess it's more just like, again, right, just putting more gas in fire, in a way, knowing the fact that the SBF trial and the whole FTX, explosion has been, one of the key topics recently. So I guess like they gotta try to bring other stuff up, like crypto.com might be another one, Binance might be another one, Coinbase even might be another one. I don't know, right? But they have to like capture views through ad revenues, which is what most media companies are doing. Anyways, so some other news that I'm seeing seems like they're more just like regurgitation news depicting what happened recently. And some news that I'm just seeing right now, 32 minutes ago, a billionaire investor Charlie Munger. I actually saw him at a conference once, but I didn't talk to him. I don't know. I never got the chance to meet him in person, but I did see him from tables away. That the world is driven by envy, not greed. I mean, subjectively speaking, I mean, I can understand both sides of the spectrum. All right, so let's just take a look at the technical front. Again, right, with respect to the recording time of 9:38 a.m. on the Eastern time. It's been a long week for me, so my energy level might be a little bit stale, as you can tell. I don't know if it's me, but like I feel like I'm losing weight as well. Just like, you know, feel like I don't know. It's been quite a rough couple months and weeks, just physically, but also mentally as well. Even though I try to keep a good face, but it's been long days every day. That's part of the grind, honestly, as underdogs, if you may. And with respect to the technical front, we're bouncing from 1300 to 1250. And again, elongation with a lot of consolidation and rejections at the 53. So it's definitely more of a bearish sentiment compared to the upside. And then on weekly, you are seeing a less severe affectation, but you still have like 1, 2, 3, 4 technically of a rejection. So seeing lower levels again would be more likely than going up from here. And then on the monthly front, I would say we are gliding right now. So as you get over these type of humps, I think somewhere in Q1, Q2 in next year, we'll ideally see some bullish pressure. And then on a Bitcoin side of the equation, I would say quite comparable. Same thing on a macro perspective. Weekly, it's a little bit more sharp on the edges, like 1, 2, 3 rejections, and the daily is very extended as well. You can see clearly very extended with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, about to have 6 rejection. It seems like this is clearly an upward wedge. So it seems like we might see more short-term volatility again as we approach next week. And I think we will start to see some psychological decision from our collective group, both the institutional side but also the consumer side on Monday, depicting what will be happening. Basically, the classic anticipatory pressure, and I think psychologically, based on what we've learned so far from the PPI report, we might foreshadow some sort of a negative Monday opening. And I think the future so far, which is technically is still, it just started, right? Saturday just started, so we might see some more effects being baked in as we shift on to late Sunday. So we'll catch up on that front later down the road. And then with respect to index front again, right? The equity market should ideally see some short-term normalization coming back to the 385, like we talked about before. And I think we are closing in. You can see that we are, extended on a weekly. Daily looks, try to consolidate right now. And try to bounce, and I think we will have to come down somewhere, which we're not fully there at the 47 out of 70. If we break that, we'll ideally come down to 45, come down to a really more of a consolidate of 35. So if that's the case, we will obviously touch 385 on a SPY front, and then ideally bounce again from 375 from here. Okay. All right. So hope you guys have a good Saturday. I forget what day it is now. And appreciate you for joining me. And it's been a rough year for me. Or maybe I'm just talking because of my recent experience. It's been just really rough on me. Two of my good friends actually passed away this year. Both of them are my mentors. One passed away obviously a couple of months ago, as you recall, but recently during my trip to Art Basel, I did hear that one of my good friend, who's also a mentor, who's been taking care of me for quite some time, he also was unfortunately passed away. And I felt guilty that part of me did not like spend more time with him, and I wasn't sure what exactly happened, and I found out relatively late. The timing was I left obviously Miami on Saturday morning, as you recall if you follow my day-to-day videos, and next thing you know, I got this like weird message on my phone on Tuesday saying that, hey, is this guy alive? I thought that was just like very uncalled for, almost rude, right? But yeah, I thought it was just like someone's probably making a joke or something. But yeah, until I heard directly from a couple of the family members that yeah, it is confirmed. But with respect to what exactly happened, something that we still try to figure out. I think probably from diabetes, or something even more malicious happened. It is Miami, right? So, and also like it was nighttime, so I frankly just very perplexed at the moment. But anyways, appreciate you for staying until this point. Again, have a good weekend. Take care.